Hello, it's Dr. Kirst, and welcome to my master course in drawing everyone's favorite purple bitch, Zone Time. First of all, select your largest brush and draw a perfect circle. A large brush makes it easier. Switch back to your smaller brush, make a separate layer. And here's when we begin drawing. First, use the Andrew Loomis method. Draw a little oval on one side, and you draw the half line. Then you draw a half line down vertically, and you draw the chin. The half line vertically would be the half line for the face. You draw the ear, and then you draw an eye line. And this is where the eyes would go right above. Above that line is the brow line. I like to start with the nose, make a little check mark, and a little nostril. Now, Zone Time's eyes is a parallelogram, so you want to draw four corners. The first line is a little longer to make up for the lash. Draw a circle for the eye and a little dot for a pupil. Draw a little Y-shaped line on the top and a little line underneath the eye for lids. Now, you want the eyebrows to run parallel to the top part of the eye. And then you just repeat the same on the other side. You want to make sure it has those four corners. Make sure to put the little lash in the corners too. And you make the perfect circle and a little dot for the eyes. This is a 3/4 view, so one eye would be a little bit more squished than the other. And starting from that nose line on the very top, you continue that curve and you make the other brow. Now no one's perfect, so I'm going to move the eyes, make it a little bit bigger to make it more symmetrical. And I feel the eyes are a little too close, so I will select the other eye and move it a little bit to the right. As long as it follows the horizontal lines for the face and they line up, it should be fine. Now I like to do 2 dashed lines for the mouth, like so, and a little line for the lower lip. Now start from the top, maybe about 2/3, and you draw the first bang that covers the eyes. Then you draw another line down, up to around where the chin is, a little bit extended beyond the chin, and you make a bunch of curved, I guess, triangles, kind of like the spines on Sonic's head. Take note that there is 4 bangs. One covering the eye that's small, and then a bigger one, slightly smaller one, and a very small one at the very end. Now, Zone Time's head is roughly the shape of an apple. So, you want to make that perfect apple shape, and it might take you a few tries until you get it. You draw lines on the bottom for the neck, like so. And you draw the hair in the back of her neck, like so. 3 little triangles. And of course the apple stem on the very top. Now for the ear, you draw backwards, number 3, and at the very bottom, make a little squiggle, and then you draw 1 extra line in the middle of the 3, and that's the ridges of the ears. And we start inking. I am cheating by using the palette from the official model sheet. Now for these lashes, you want to extend them a little beyond. And you want to round out the shape of the parallelogram a little. The eyes aren't perfectly straight, they're more curved. Kind of like an almond shape, or a football. Just remember that there are 3 lashes on Zone Time's eyes, 1 on the bottom, 2 on the top. The first slash is just an extension of the first line in the parallelogram. And of course, eyebrows run parallel to the top of the eye. Next up, you ink the chin, using some of that brown from the palette, the darkest brown for the skin. Now, I'm trying to make these lines somewhat neat, not the neatest. I like to color using the paint bucket or magic wand tool, and having cleaner lines help a lot. Now you draw the little check mark nose. And it takes a few tries. And a little nostril. Of course, don't forget the lids. It's a Y shape on top and a little line on the bottom. Now take the darkest blue, and you ink the eyes. Yes, inking everything beneath the hair, even if it's getting covered later, makes it a lot easier. It is a lot better than just inking the small amount of parts, because then they might not follow the curve after it's covered. So I do recommend inking everything and erasing afterwards. Now, we ink the hair using the darkest purple. Now, if your sketch doesn't look perfect the way you want it to, and I don't think this looks exactly how I want it to, it is perfectly fine to go off the sketch a little and try to perfect it. It is always better to extend beyond where the line ends. Even if the two lines overlap, you can erase the excess afterwards. Now over here, I feel like the apple is not wide enough, so I spent a few moments trying to make it a little wider. Same for the little hairs in the bottom. I think they're a little too small, so I made them a little bit bigger. Now I forgot the ponytail, so I'm just going to add that in right now. It's just two lines in a roughly rectangle shape at the bottom. Do remember that Zontan has about 5 curls in her drill, so if you're going to draw the full ponytail, you could count them. Although I guess it's not always accurate. It changes from time to time. Alright, this is looking pretty good. I select the eraser and erase all the excess on the face. I mean, if it's covered, you want to erase it. The cleaner during this process, the easier it is to color in the picture later. So I do recommend that you take care in erasing. And this is just a lot of busy work. So you see where the excess, where lines meet, you want to just erase up to where the meeting point is. It is always better to follow through all the way with the lines, and then just erase the extra. Now I am seeing a few gaps, so I'm closing them right now. If you do not close those gaps, it's going to be hard to color later. You won't be able to use your paint bucket tool or your magic wand tool. Now this is just a quick sketch, so no need to be perfect. But if you're trying to make this your master work, I would recommend taking the extra time to make this as clean as possible. Now this is looking pretty good. I just gotta make sure I get most of the excess and close any gaps if they are present. I merge the layers, and I make layer my selection source, so I can use the magic wand tool on a separate layer to color things in. Now, if you did not close all the gaps perfectly like I did, that's going to happen when you use the magic wand tool. That's why you want clean lines. Now it's still not closed perfectly. Gotta take your time and find every little gap. Oh, that looks pretty good. That's promising. Oh, wrong color. Now I switch to the lightest skin tone that's not white, and I color in the skin. I take the select tool, shape out the neck, and then magic wand the next, and I color that in too. Next I take the purple, and of course I try to close as many gaps as possible so I can paint bucket everything. I use the select tool and selectively close any gaps. Perfect. And then I can just swipe it all in purple. Perfect. I use preserve opacity so that when I do the shading, it would only color in where there's already color. A little triangle shadow over the eyelid and one underneath the lower lip, the bottom of the nose. Just follow the shape of the nostril and the lower part of the nose. And then you shade in beneath the hair, and then from the cheek to the chin. We're having the light come from the upper left. Color in the ears, put that in shadow. Maybe leave a speck of light in the very top. And we can just fill in the neck. All right. Time to color in the eyes. I'll take the dark blue, color it in. And take a smaller brush and color in the light blue for the highlights of the eyes. Nice. And then over the line art layer, above everything else, make a little gumdrop shape for the little shine in the eye. Now take the eye white color from the palette and color in the eye white directly over the skin layer. Preserve opacity on that layer. And you color in the shadows for the eye whites. Just run it parallel to the top part of the eye. Now I take the darkest brown and do the darkest shadow underneath the neck, right below the chin. Add some white right on the bridge of the nose for a little shine. I like putting one right on the chin, right on the cheek, where the light shines on it. And move it a little bit to the right. There we go. And of course, one little dot on the lower lip. Shade in the hair. You just want to follow the curve of the hair and put shadows on the lower parts. So there will be more shadow on one side where the light doesn't shine and a little less on the side where the light shines down upon. Paint bucket tool. That's the best tool in the kit. For lazy people that want to color entire areas in one click. Alright, shade in parts of the rectangle on the bottom for the drill, where the light doesn't shine, and shade in the rest of the ponytail. Now, if this was to be completely accurate, you'd probably put a gradient on the ponytail. But we're not doing that. Alright, shade in the entire bottom part, including the hair for the nape of the neck. And finally, we shade in the final bang. And there you have it, folks. Zim Zam, everyone's favorite purple bitch.